It's been my best friend for a long time. But longtime fan of the show, Lev. We know that. And finally, making your first appearance. Episode 127. 126 episodes too late. But we're happy to have you here, buddy.
Better late than never.
Absolute king. You run a big-time fan account on Twitter over there, too, with the Giants, buddy.
Yes, I do.
So why don't you give yourself a shout out?
Why did I not know that?
Yeah, he's a big he has a pretty decently followed Giants fan account on Twitter. So give yourself a shout out real quick.
I am Giants fan 1500 under Eric on Twitter.
Yeah,
yes.
There it is. Yeah.
The other 1,499 words.
Yeah, 14,
beat him to
1,499 didn't work.
He tried one for 1,499. Didn't work.
Anyways, the NFL has been insane recently.
Big
Obviously, we're heading towards the NFL draft. We're going to be doing a mock draft. That's in the caption, obviously. But outside of that, we just had a massive move in the NFL with Stefon Diggs being traded from the Buffalo Bills to the Houston Texans. The final trade details were Diggs, a 5th and a 6th round pick for a 2025 second round pick. And we'll start off on the Bills side of things before we get into the Texans. I'm sorry. I completely fucked the whole intro up. But
We got to do the
intro.
the ad read.
Oh, I mean, just continue. We'll do it after.
Just make sure. All right.
it's okay. We'll do it at some point in the show. But anyways, I want to start off from Buffalo side of things. How do we feel? Stefon Diggs out of town, a second round pick for next year, not even this year, is the get. We'll start with you, Tom. How do you feel? Buffalo no longer with their alpha dog receiver.
So for Buffalo, I mean, Josh Allen's gonna. You thought Josh Allen had to do everything before? Woof. It's not looking great up there. I mean, they still got the draft to go, and Khalil Shakir came alive down the stretch of last season. But honestly, the trade itself, I didn't think a second was bad for Stefon Diggs. I mean, he lost a 5th and a 6th, but he tossed those around. It's fine. But yeah, Diggs, the drama's been brewing for a while. What was the guy's name on Twitter that sent him out of there? Dr. something Pirate. It was he was like Josh Allen did more for Diggs or
bro.
And Diggs was like, "You sure?" And then like 2 hours later he got traded or something.
Traded
Or
out.
overnight he got traded. I'm messing up the details, but you get it. Yeah, it sucks that they got to lose their alpha receiver, especially that they've lost so much this offseason already, but still got one of the best quarterbacks in the world. So you can always figure something out.
Love, how we feeling, buddy?
I feel definitely improves the Texans a lot. The Bills probably had to make that move. Once you pay your franchise quarterback, that's typically they need to make the plays on their own. And this is probably going to be a big task for Josh Allen because he has Khalil Shakir right now. They just signed Curtis Samuel. They got Dawson Knox and Kincaid.
Your boy.
So, I mean, they're probably going to add a receiver in rounds 1 and 2, but this is Josh Allen. This is why we paid you $50 million a year.
Facts.
You got to carry us. Mahomes carried the Chiefs to a Super Bowl last year. Bills, Josh Allen, you got to do the same with the Bills this year.
True.
Chris, how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, like I've said, it seems like it was a move they kind of had to make. They were kind of in salary cap hell, and it's clearly a transitional period for the Bills going forward for definitely next year and maybe the year after that. They obviously, like you said, they paid Josh Allen, and they needed to reset the books a little bit, and more than just reset the salary cap, reset the timeline of the whole organization. Obviously, we see Diggs go, but we also saw some key pieces on the defensive side of the ball go. So they're clearly, how do I say this? I don't like the move from a football standpoint because it doesn't improve them. It makes them worse as a football team. But from an organizational standpoint, I think it's a good move before things get worse with the salary cap and before you can't make any moves and you're super handicapped to get off the older players now, take a year, reset everything, and then next year going forward, really dive into this thing and try and put a Super Bowl contender around Josh.
Real quick, Sleazy said, I probably missed intros, but who is this guy? That's Matt, buddy.
Yeah.
He's always here.
What the fuck, bro? How do you not know who I am?
Come on, man.
Nah, that's Lab. That's a very close friend of the show. And our NFL analyst over here. So
Yep.
Casual NBA guy, but big time
Casual
NFL
NBA guy.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
Sleazy. How you doing?
Honestly, for me, this was needed for Buffalo. And I understand losing Diggs is a massive blow, but you have a guy that's transcendent at the quarterback position, and your hope is that no matter what you put around him, you'll be able to make a star out of this guy now. You've gotten to the level that Diggs helped you get to this point, and now you are at this point. So now you have to make other guys stars. So in my personal opinion, I think it makes a lot of sense, especially because Diggs has just off season after off season just created drama for no reason. And it just, you had an opportunity to defend your quarterback on Twitter, and instead you took a blatant shot at the guy. So
Could have
I
said
think,
nothing.
or just
Yeah,
could have not
exactly. You could have
responded.
just not said anything.
So all in all, I think it's a great move for Buffalo. Yes, a second-round pick doesn't seem like the most for a guy of Stefon Diggs' ilk, but look at what he did for the last 6 games, 7 games of last season. They clearly phased him out of that offense. He wasn't the most necessary guy at this point. He's on the wrong side of 30, and, you get a future pick. So it is what it is.
If they waited one more year to trade him, they're not getting a second-round pick in return.
Completely agree with that.
Right, yeah, that's why I definitely applaud them for kind of beating the curve and trying to get ahead of the curve. But if they don't hit the draft picks in the next couple years, then this is looked at as a mistake, because you had a guy who, you could say what you want about Diggs. Maybe he took a step back last year. He's still a top 20 at worst receiver in the league, and he'd be by far the best receiver on this team. So if they don't put winning pieces around Josh Allen in the next year or two, it's going to be looked at as a failure. So it should be very interesting to see what they do come draft time this year and next year. So
For sure.
I completely agree. So now moving to the other side of things.
can we get like a massive good hook for this one so we can make a clip out? One of you guys,
I got you.
You wanna
because
do
that
it?
last
Yeah.
one was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So I'm going.
Yeah, sure.
The Houston Texans are going to have the best offense in the NFL. I mean, it's that simple. You look on paper, you got Mr. CJ Stroud, who even if he doesn't improve a lick, is still really, really fucking good. Okay? You got Joe Mixon in the backfield. Love Joe Mixon. Draft him every year in fantasy. But that's besides the point. He's still really good. Then you got Stefon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, who Nico Collins and Tank Dell looked fantastic last year under this offense. And Diggs, like we said, he may have lost a step, sure. I don't think he's the vertical threat he once was, but I still think, cutting up the field and being that, I still think his route running is amongst one of the best in the league. Still think he's one of the best in the league at route running. His route tree is great. And then you can have Nico Collins really stretch the field. And Tank Dell can do a little bit of everything too. So, yeah, I think this really moves the needle for the Houston Texans.
I'll just chime in and be quick with this. Houston's gonna be explosive. It's just that simple. Nico Collins, I felt like going into next season, the NFL knows the secret's out now. He's a superstar. Quickly became that as well. Tank Dell, the secret was out very quickly. He's a very good wide receiver. And then you add a vet who's been there, done that, and Stefon Diggs. And yes, for all the same reasons that I said the Bills need to get rid of Stefon Diggs, I think this is the perfect place to control Stefon Diggs, because DeMeco Ryans is not Sean McDermott. I'll tell you that right now. That man ain't going to put up with none of that shit. So I think this offense is super star-studded, yes, for sure. I wonder if Mixon takes a slight step back because he's an aging running back with a whole lot of tread on his tires. But even then, I mean, look, you have a superstar at the quarterback position. Diggs is going from superstar to future superstar. So I think it's just you guard one of them, you got to deal with 2 others. So, and then not to mention you have Dalton Schultz as well at the tight end position, who's a great safety blanket, an improving offensive line, and a defense that looks like it's just going to absolutely wreck games. I mean, Houston is a problem.
Yeah.
Houston is simply a problem. So, Lab, how you feeling from the Texans side of things?
Houston's probably in the top 5 in Super Bowl contention right now.
Top 5.
They got Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson coming off the edge too. That's scary. That's scary right there.
Thought I gave high praises.
Whew.
I respect.
Top 5. Top 5. Let's see. San Fran, KC.
Hold off on that before we just
We're gonna
give
do
your
that?
give
Okay,
your
all right,
thoughts
cool,
on the
cool,
trade.
Cool. Apologies. Continue.
Was that a hot take? I apologize.
No. You have every right
What do
to
you mean
say
you
that.
apologize? It's content, brother.
Brother, we want hot takes.
what you
That's
gotta
the
do.
point.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do for this shit. But
No, you guys have said it all. I mean, they have all the weapons for Stroud, and they look like a really impressive team going forward. Look dominant. They should win that division easily.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys pretty much hit everything on the head. Giving C.J. Stroud another weapon like Diggs should only take C.J. Stroud's game to the next level. But then, honestly, the biggest winner of the trade is Bobby Slowick. We saw what he did with this group last year. The scheme was super creative and out of the box, and now you add another weapon like that. So I'm super excited to see what Slowick could do with this group and how creative he could get. Should be fun to watch, and they should definitely be able to compete. But
Also, a little wrinkle with that Diggs trade. Apparently, they renegotiated something. With his
restructured
contract.
him, yes.
They restructured his
So
contract.
they cut off the
3 years of his
last 3 years.
contract, yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
a free agent after
And
this
then-
I've never
year.
seen anything
And
like
if they
that.
let him walk in free agency, they get a compensatory pick in return. So
so they basically only lose a round.
Yeah.
potentially, I mean, compensatory formulas are a little difficult
They are.
to navigate. But like, if he signs a $20 million a year deal with another team, they could get a 3rd round compensatory pick.
Jeez, man. This is
That's crazy.
Casario has done a phenomenal job in just a couple years of being there in Houston, man.
Salary cap really is fake. How do you just cut off 3 years of a guy's contract? I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that one either. I don't know how they did that.
I
And
thought
how did no one else do it before him? You know, like if this has been allowed,
it has to be willingness from the player too.
yeah.
okay, yeah,
So,
yeah, fair enough.
The player has to be willing as well. Like we can't just say like, "Oh, why don't you just do this?" The player also has to
Right,
agree.
yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, sure. Actually, I'll say fuck the next 3 years of my deal. I want to be a free agent after this year. Make it a prove it year. Pretty much. For
I also heard that Chris Sims said this on his podcast. I don't know who his sources were or anything.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know who his sources were or anything, but he said it's just funny to think about. He said apparently Stefon Diggs was allowed to seek a trade from any team except the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sounds right.
That was the only team.
Apparently the
he
same
wasn't
thing
allowed to
for
go.
Deontay Johnson too.
Oh, really?
So yeah, the Chiefs have turned into the ultimate villain in the NFL. So
Pretty
I
much.
thought the Chiefs made sense as the landing spot for Johnson in a Snead trade. So I guess that's probably what happened. They wouldn't trade.
I'm assuming, yeah.
I thought the Steelers were going to trade for Snead, and apparently that got nixed probably because
the
Chiefs
Chiefs
wanted-
are the Chiefs.
Chiefs wanted Johnson probably.
Yeah, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. It's just that they are the Darth Vader of the NFL. It's just that simple. They are inevitable.
Darth
They're
Vader's
Thanos.
awesome.
They're Thanos. Like it's just that simple. So, but yeah.
Yes, so the Houston Texans are on the rise, and they're looking to compete in the AFC. So I'm going to name some AFC teams. You tell me who you're taking going into next season, the Houston Texans or this team.
Nice.
We'll start with the division rivals, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Easily the Texans.
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 Okay,
In order, I apologize.
Yeah. Let have it.
my bad. I lost my list of teams. The Los Angeles Chargers.
Texans in year 1. I think the Chargers are on the come up though.
Yeah, Texans.
Taking the Texans as well.
All right. The Pittsburgh Steelers with Russell Wilson.
Texans.
Texans.
Texans as well.
Okay. The Buffalo Bills, the team they just made a trade with.
Texans.
This is tough.
Is
It's
it?
tough though,
It's the Texans.
because right now Allen is better than Stroud.
Right.
Agreed.
But everyone else on,
Everyone-
on the
yeah, you
Texans
can make the
is
argument
better
that-
than almost everyone else on the Bills.
I'm gonna trust Brandon Bean. I think the Bills are gonna figure this one out.
Looking
And
at
I
it,
just think Josh is that damn good. And he's
looking
about to prove it. So,
right now on paper, Texans are better,
yes,
but
I agree.
the Bills could pull off some wins.
I'm just gonna give it to the Bills, and I think this is the Josh Allen MVP year. So
Sure.
Next up, another AFC North team, the Cleveland Browns.
Texans beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Texans.
I'm still taking the Texans.
Man, I have high hopes for the Bengals this year, but I don't know. That Texans team looks damn good.
I'll just jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to take the Texans. I think the Bengals have lost a few too many key pieces, namely DJ Reader. I think that's going to be a loss that hurts quite a bit more than people realize. And the T. Higgins trade that is forthcoming. I mean, we know that's pretty much a formality at this point. The man does not want to be there anymore.
Think he gets traded on draft night or no?
Most likely. That's what my guess would be. Carolina.
Let me just say.
Carolina.
Yeah, it's the Texans.
The Miami Dolphins.
Texans.
Texans.
Miami's lost way too much talent. They lost Hunt, $100 million guard. They lost Wilkins at
Yep.
DT. Those guys
Van
are
Ginkel.
Van Dinkle. Not easy to replace those guys.
Van Dinkle.
Dinkelberg.
Cut Xavier Howard. I know that.
Howard too.
Yeah, but they've added some guys too. They've added a few.
They lost their
vets
center, right?
to the roster. Yeah, McGovern. I
No.
think it's McGovern. But anyways, any other ones?
The Ravens and the Chiefs.
I'm taking the two teams that you
Yeah,
just
I'm
stated.
taking-
Yeah,
over the
Ravens and
Texans.
Chiefs
Ravens
over
and
the
Chiefs.
Texans.
Okay. So right now you guys would have the Texans at about third in the AFC.
Third or fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Fine with me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So that's the Stefon Diggs trade. Like we said, we have a first-round NFL mock draft we're going to get into. The order is set. The order is Matty J, Tom, me, and Lav. And, yeah, that's pretty much the mock draft. But before we get into that, huge shout out to our new partners over at Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the best daily fantasy sports game. In the pick'em mode, you can win up to 20 times your money. You pick any player and you select higher or lower on a given stat. You could have 2 to 5 different players in a select entry. The more players in your entry, the more money you could win. Make sure you use our code BallGame for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Check this map on the screen to see if Underdog's available in your state. Again, make sure you sign up for Underdog Fantasy and use our code BallGame for a first-time deposit match. All right, yeah. Huge shout out to our partners over at Underdog. All right. Does anyone want to say anything before we start the
Yes,
draft?
real quick. For those teams that we got, say for example, I got the Chicago Bears, I would automatically end up with the Bears' second first-round pick. It worked out for the Bears and the Vikings. Chris, I think you have both the Vikings picks.
Yes.
But it worked out in those regards. But the other team was the Arizona Cardinals. Lav has 4 and 27. So we just had to flip-flop Chris and Lav at 27 and 28. That was the normal order, but we switched it up because we wanted to make sure everyone had teams. So,
Yeah.
so
All right.
that's about it.
Yeah.
Think we're ready to get into this?
Do a good hook just in case I clip this out anywhere. We're gonna do a full first round NFL mock draft. Matty J, you're on the clock with the first pick.
Nice and simple. I ain't going to take time like the NFL draft does and waits till the last second on that clock. It's Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears. It is just that simple. They aren't going to trade it. They ain't going to do nothing. It's simple. Chalk it up. Caleb Williams is a Chicago Bear.
Probably already got a playbook.
He does, for sure. They just can't legally say
Yeah.
it. So,
He's got a Chicago penthouse ready.
facts.
All right, so that means I am on the clock with the second pick as the Washington Commanders, and I am selecting Drake May. I know this is flip-flopped a little bit. You know, some people think the Heisman winner, Jaden Daniels, is going to go here, but I like Drake May. I mean, I think the Commanders might pick Daniels because Cliff Kingsbury did draft Kyler, Coach Johnny Football in was it in Cleveland or was it in college? He coached him at college? I don't know.
He had
Cliff?
Mahomes in college.
Yeah, Mahomes
Oh, he had
in
Mahomes in college. Right.
Yeah.
But Drake's size, athleticism, and his ability to basically make every throw is just uncanny. 6'4", 230, 157.9 passer rating in 2 years as a starter. He does have a little bit of a wild play style, very like Josh Allen-esque. Like he tries to make big plays all the time, but I think with the right coaching, that can be kept under control. So Drake May's the guy for me.
So you prefer Drake over Jaden?
Yeah.
Your preference.
My
I
preference.
think Jaden's
yes.
the heavy betting favorite for the number 2 overall
He
pick
is.
right now.
So this is something else. real quick. Obviously, I'm cool with you guys drafting off preference of who you guys would think, but also slightly factor in what we think this team is going to lean to do. So I'm just throwing that out there.
No, it's our mock.
Fuck that. Yeah.
You want to do it
It's
with
our
like,
mock draft,
okay,
bro.
Cool. So what makes you take Drake over Jaden?
I'm
a big Jaden guy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I like Jaden as a dual threat. He's better as a runner for sure. I don't know, man. Drake's just a big guy. Got a cannon of an arm, and I just like him.
I think Drake, for me, like the talent in terms of he's like this guy that you're gonna get, and he's so unrefined. And you're a UNC guy, so like you could speak to this probably more than I can. But it's like so unrefined, but all the physical traits are like so there.
Yeah,
But I just feel like Jaden's just
more polished,
ready to step in and run an NFL offense
That's
off
fair.
rip right now today. Like if that was the case, I think he's a lot of things that they're saying right now is like Drake doesn't marry his feet with his arm, which is like pretty much the 3-step, 5-step drop and stuff like that. But you know, like physical traits, bro, he is second to almost nobody in this class. So
yeah. Like I said, I think if he gets his decision making under wraps, then he's gonna be really, really good.
Well, the thing about Drake also had a better sophomore year than he did junior year. So if you really watch that tape, a lot of his issues that came along in his junior year were different because he had different talent around him. The talent around him in his junior year was much worse than his sophomore year.
the weapons fell off.
Right.
The weapons did fall off. So he does have some stuff to clear up. I think the comparison I've seen for him by a lot of draft analysts is like Jordan Love, which I like a lot.
Yes.
I think he's very similar to Jordan Love, and he could be a really good player with that type of coaching and that type of development. Now, I don't know if he fits Cliff's scheme. That would be my issue with taking him at number 2 overall. Cliff runs like a spread out scheme, and he would need refinement. And I'm not sure that Washington could offer him refinement, and I also don't want to see Drake May in a division with the Giants. So that's another reason I don't.
Facts. I also don't want to see Jaden though, bro. I'm a big Jaden fan. So.
Yeah, but Jaden.
Don't sleep on my boy. Don't sleep on him.
I'm not sleeping.
He's going to carry my dynasty team for the next,
I don't know. I think
10
Drake
years.
May is a superior prospect, and it's really not a discussion. I like what you said about Drake May sophomore year. You got to remember, too, a guy who, I don't know if we're going to mention him today since we're only doing a first-round mock draft, but a guy who should go within the first 2 or 3 rounds, Tez Walker, his number 1 receiver this past year. He missed, like, the first half of the season because he was suspended, so... Like, Drake May had no one, but the first half of the season, he really had no one. And he was still putting in work, and they were winning games early on in the season, too. And they beat some good schools. So, I don't know. I think Drake, like you said, he has all the physical tools. And I kind of like and trust the staff that Washington's put together this offseason to develop him and turn him into that quarterback.
So, yeah, that's the other thing is I think they might pick Jaden because I think he fits Cliff more. But Washington is also doing this thing from scratch, so I don't think they mind. Even if they think Drake is the more raw prospect, I don't think they mind having to develop him as long as they can, get that potential out of him.
Yeah, but they got to start Mariota.
I was about to say, I fear that's a situation that, and they could just be blowing smoke out with all the reports, which is 100% a possibility. But I think that's the biggest issue with Washington. Whatever quarterback you're going to draft, you're most likely going to start.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, though.
They're going to lose.
I don't know, but I know that they're going to lose games regardless, so why does it matter?
That's true. Yeah.
We have to start Drake May so we could lose 21-14 instead of 21-7.
That's a good point.
That's
a good point. Yeah, you're right. And with the 3rd pick, Chris, you are on the clock.
The New England Patriots will be making a generational mistake if they don't draft Marvin Harrison here at number 3. The pick is in. It's Marvin Harrison Jr. It's the best wide receiver prospect I've personally seen with my own 2 eyes. I know Calvin Johnson's probably up there, but I didn't really scout Calvin Johnson. I mean, the man is just a physical specimen, 6'4", and moves super fluently. He's kind of like the Paul George of wide receivers, the way this guy moves, and has all the statistical stuff to back it up. He led college football in target share this year with a 33.3%, and he was second in yards per route run with a 3.69. Listen, I know the Patriots could use a quarterback, but I just think this much of a can't-miss prospect, you can't miss him. If he's on the board there, you got to take him. I don't think Jaden Daniels is that much of a can't-miss prospect that you sacrifice missing out on this guy. If Drake May was still on the board, maybe we could have a discussion, but Drake May is not on the board. The pick is obviously Marvin Harrison Jr.
You,
Wow.
sir, have the 4th overall pick, correct?
I do. I had no expectations for Jaden Daniels to be here in this spot.
So now regardless, a quarterback was going to be here. A quarterback
was going to be. I did not expect it.
So I say this. I'm the Las Vegas Raiders right now.
What are you offering
Speaking
me?
to you. I'm offering the 13th pick,
Okay.
the 44th pick, and my 2025 first-round pick just for the 4th overall pick. So 13, 44, and a 2025 one.
You're Arizona, right?
You can counter if you see fit. So
Chad, what
Let
do you think? Should
me-
we take it?
Who's the Vikings?
Me. I'm the Vikings.
Oh,
What's up?
this is getting spicy.
And you do 11, 23 in your 2025 first for 4?
oh boy.
The offer is in. General Manager O'Brien, what do you say?
You know,
Mm.
I've seen Jaden Daniels look good in the gold and purple before.
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna continue the trend. So yes, you could have 11, 23, and my first round pick next year. For pick 4, the Vikings are trading up, getting the quarterback of the future, the LSU connection, Justin Fields, Jaden Daniels. So yeah, I'll accept your trade.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a little stronger than the Vegas trade.
Yeah,
Evan?
it definitely was.
Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson.
All right, so the Vikes take. So you then take Jaden Daniels
Daniels.
at number 4. Okay. Wow. All right, so now I'm the Chargers at pick number 5, and Malik Neighbors is staring me in the face, but also at the same time, J.J. McCarthy's sitting here, and I think that there are going to be multiple teams that think that J.J. McCarthy may be the Giants' selection with the next pick. Whether that's actually true in our mock draft or not, probably not. But I'm going to let Malik Neighbors fall into the lap of the New York Giants, and I'm going to trade this pick to the Las Vegas Raiders. Actually, I lied.
Collusion.
To the Denver Broncos. Wait, who has the Broncos pick, by the way? Can I?
Not me.
I think I do.
Do you want to make a trade? J.J. McCarthy's on the board.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see what we can do for this pick.
J.J. McCarthy.
Because it's either them or the Raiders that I'm thinking, and I think the Broncos would be very inclined to trade up for J.J. if he
Remember-
was still sitting here.
He also runs the Raiders. So you
So-
got to come here with a
So-
banger of an offer.
I'll give you 12, 76 in a 2025 first.
12, 76, and a 2025 first.
That's
What
kinda spicy.
and you are the the Denver Broncos. Okay, let me see what other picks you have if I could potentially make a change here. 12, 76, and a 25.
I think
first.
Sean Payton said in one of his press conferences that you could say it's likely that they trade up for a quarterback. Now, whether
That's-
one is there, that's the big question.
Yeah, okay. So I'll do it.
Big question.
I'll take 12, 76, but I also want 121 and that 25 first. So just the 4th round pick as well this year. And that's my offer.
Okay, deal.
Deal? Cool. So J.J. McCarthy gets traded to
Shake
the
hands.
5th overall pick, and now it's you.
Shake hands.
Here you go, buddy.
You're a gentleman on this podcast. Well, don't hit me.
So now you have the 5th overall pick, Lav, and I think we
Yeah,
all.
Got to take J.J. McCarthy here.
Yep. There we go.
Quarterback, Michigan.
Okay.
I think he's like the ideal, perfect Sean Payton quarterback. 6'2",
Yep.
He could run his offense. I think that's the big problem with him and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was not running his offense. He was freestyling a little too much, and Sean Payton didn't like that. At Michigan, J.J. McCarthy showed he has the ability to run an offense the way that the coaches, Harbaugh, wanted him, and I think it would be a perfect fit.
Facts.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, before we continue, quick recap of the first 5 picks of our 2024 NFL mock draft. With pick 1, the Bears took Caleb Williams. Pick 2, the Commanders took Drake May. Pick 3, the Patriots took Marvin Harrison Jr. At pick 4, the Minnesota Vikings traded pick 11, pick 23, and a 2025 first to the Arizona Cardinals for pick 4 and selected Jaden Daniels. And then at pick 5, the Denver Broncos traded up with the Los Angeles Chargers and selected J.J. McCarthy.
There it is.
'Kay.
Beautiful. All right, so that puts me on the clock at 6 with my New York Giants. I was getting a little scared when you were on the clock because I didn't really have a back. I mean, I had a backup plan, but I like this a lot more. So with the 6th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Malik Neighbors out of LSU. Real quick, guy's 6 foot tall, runs a 4.4 40. 4.4 40.
Sub
You say that.
Yeah.
4.35. Oh, I read 4.44. Okay, well, I don't know shit.
He's even faster.
A
than you think.
4.35 40. Has a 38-inch vert. Did I get that right?
42.
God damn it. Where the fuck am I getting these numbers? All right, anyway. The guy's really good. No, but seriously, one of the most explosive receiver prospects out there. I think there's a world where he ends up being the best receiver in this class.
I agree.
I love it. In 2022, his 1,017 yards marked the 10th time in school history a wide receiver eclipsed 1,000 yards, and then he shattered that his next season with, I think, 1,500 yards. He broke LSU's all-time receiving record, and that's a school that put out Odell Beckham Jr., Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. His route tree could use a little bit of work, but again, with coaching, that stuff will come to him. He has all the physical tools necessary to be an elite wide receiver in the NFL.
I heard the comp for him. He's like Brandon Ayuk with a jetpack.
Yeah, that's actually beautiful. Yeah, that's exactly what the New York Giants need. They are desperately lacking a playmaker, especially with the departure of Saquon Barkley, and God only knows who's going to start under center for us. So it's going to be Daniel Jones, but I don't know how I feel about it. So get him a playmaker, and this is the guy.
Real quick, just as a Giant fan, I mean, look, I could say right now, I'd be incredibly happy with this. Yeah. I would have no problem at all with the Giants ending up with Malik Neighbors. There's potential for it to end up being Marvin Harrison, maybe. Who even knows about that one? And look, I think there's a number of ways the Giants can go, and I'm not going to be mad at all as a Giant fan. I wouldn't mind J.J. McCarthy if somehow, some way, Jaden Daniels or Drake May fell into our lap. I wouldn't mind that either. I think it's a win-win scenario for the Giants no matter what we do here. It's loaded at positions that we definitely need. So
yeah.
Apparently, J.J. McCarthy for the Giants would not be a popular fan pick.
No, not at all. I know fans hate him.
I would actually really encourage that pick.
Me as well.
I think it would be really.
I've come around. Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it at first because he flew up draft boards in like the past few weeks.
Well, he flew up media draft boards. I don't know if he flew up like NFL GM's draft boards. You know what I mean? Like they could have had him that high the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's true.
So
I wouldn't mind J.J. McCarthy either.
Think him with the year with Brian Daboll and him starting in 2025. I think he could be a really good quarterback.
Yeah, I'm glad they both weren't on the board because I love Malik Neighbors.
It made it easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely made it easy. And with the 7th pick, the Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
So the Titans on the clock at pick 7. The draft board fell. It's exactly how they wanted it to fall. This might be the most obvious pick since the first overall pick with Caleb Williams of this draft so far. It's Joe Alt.
Yep.
The Titans need tackle help almost as much as anybody in the entire NFL. Joe Alt, 6'8", moves like he's about like 6'3". He really shouldn't move the way he moves at his size. Super athletic, could get down in a stance. He really checks every box you look for when scouting for a franchise tackle. So Joe Alt's the obvious pick here.
The dude is massive.
He's huge.
Huge.
6'9", bro.
Huge.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Huge.
And runs like a 5 flat or a 4.9. Like it's not fair. It doesn't make any sense. How are humans built like this? I don't get it.
That Titans offense, Notre Dame just puts them out left and right. And that Titans O-line, it would be the left side would be Alt, Skoronski, and then they have Cushenberry
at center. It's creating something there.
And they got
with
Callahan.
Ridley and Hopkins now, bro.
You got a good O-line coach now, Callahan.
Joe Alt feels like a Notre Dame guy, you know.
Absolutely.
6'9", unit of a man. Even the name, Joe Alt. 2 syllables, real nice and easy, and he just bruises people.
He's like I think I saw the comp. He's like a slightly better Taylor Decker. He was coming out 6 foot. He's a 6'8" guy too. Franchise left tackle for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
But that was a good comp for him.
Imagine him and Rudy. Movie wouldn't have got made.
It's a good point. It's definitely a good point.
Yeah,
All right, and now with
over him.
with the 8th overall pick, we have the Atlanta Falcons. Lav, what are you thinking here?
All right, so with the 8th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons need defense. I think it's a little early for Dallas Turner, but at 11, the Arizona Cardinals are coming aggressive with an offer for the 8th overall pick.
They're coming.
They're coming aggressive.
They're coming.
So the Arizona Cardinals offer, and the Atlanta accepts. So Arizona offers pick 71, pick 90, and 11 for 8 and 109.
Okay.
And that trade gets accepted by the
Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons.
And now the Cardinals are on the clock.
Shake
Cardinals
hands.
are on the clock. Shake hands with myself.
There we
right?
go. Perfect.
I think this happens. I think the Arizona Cardinals selected Roma Dunze here at 8.
Romo Dunze, baby.
Roma Dunze here at 8. Well, the Cardinals did a similar draft maneuver last year. Remember, they had the 3rd pick. They traded back to 12. The Texans came up, took Anderson. Then at 12, they traded up to 6 to get Paris Johnson.
Who is a franchise left tackle now?
Franchise left. Oh, they're going to move him to left tackle. I think
They
he
are.
started
He
at
was
right
a
tackle.
guard last. I think he was the guard last year. He was a guard last year.
He might
I
have been.
think. I think he moved around that offensive line, but he's the left tackle of the future now. So
But I think the Cardinals, they missed out on their superstar wide receiver at 4. I think they come up and get Roma Dunze here. And that wide receiver room in Arizona right now is one of the worst in the
it's
NFL.
disgusting.
They lost Hollywood Brown. They have Greg Dortch is their number 1 receiver. Greg Dortch
Michael
and
Wilson, too.
and Trey McBride are their 2
Trey
wide
McBride's a dog, though.
Trey McBride's a dog.
Trey McBride's
But
a
now
dog,
they have
though.
Roma Dunze and Trey McBride to be franchise cornerstones for Kyler Murray. So I think that would be a really good fit there. And the Atlanta, you needed draft picks. You needed some depth in the defense, especially a corner. There's a lot of 3rd-round corners. You got 2 3rd-round picks in that trade. You really like that return.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this for the Cardinals too because, like you said, their receiver room's so bad they couldn't afford to leave this draft without one of those big 3 receivers. So trading back up and getting Rome at 8, I think that's perfect for them.
Yeah. And now me being on the clock with the 9th pick for the Chicago Bears. Okay, so this is super tough. This is where I start to really have problems with who I want to draft here. Fashanu, the 2nd best tackle, pretty consensusly, is still on the board. Chicago can move this guy around the offensive line potentially. As you said before, Dallas Turner is around, and then Jared Verse. It's tough, but why not just continue to set your guys up for your number 1 overall pick up for success, and take Olu Fashanu and figure out where he slots in as it goes. It's not often that you get an elite offensive tackle prospect, and he's sitting right there for them at pick number 9. Yes, he's a natural left tackle, but great offensive linemen have a weird way of figuring it out no matter where they go. So,
A little surprised by that pick, actually.
yeah, it was tough for me because
I thought they were for sure taking Dallas Turner.
so I was thinking Dallas Turner, but Fashanu just being on the board, and I mean I have a feeling that the Jets were looking to potentially take him or maybe Brock Bowers for all I know, but Chicago, you got to set your offense up for the future. You can figure out defense in future draft classes as well. So get your rookie quarterback as much help as possible. It's just that simple.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm on the clock here at number 10 with the New York Jets. I didn't think Dallas Turner would get here, and it is tempting, but I'm going to select Brock Bowers, one of the best tight end prospects we've seen. He can line up in the slot, out wide, in line. He's a good blocker. He's super strong. His ability after the catch is something we don't see in tight ends. And get Aaron Rodgers some help, man. This defense was really elite last season, so that was really the difference maker, and the offense was awful. It just got awful. And obviously a big part of that was, Aaron Rodgers going down, but they were also lacking in the weapons department. They addressed the offensive line in the offseason, so I think Brock Bowers is a no-brainer here.
It's also, we spoke a lot about the Jets on a prior podcast, and we talked about how we don't necessarily trust some of these guys to stay healthy, namely Mike Williams. So drafting Brock Bowers is almost like insurance. Like if
Yeah.
Mike Williams gets hurt, at least we're not leaving Garrett Wilson barren once again just as the only guy. We can rely on Brock Bowers to just be an elite weapon and go all in on Aaron Rodgers potentially leading us to.
You can make that argument for every position on the Jets, though.
Yeah,
Every,
for sure. Same thing with an offensive tackle, yeah.
Exactly.
If Fashanu was here, I mean, I'm sure there's consideration there too. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different directions they could go, but Bowers sets you up with 2 elite weapons for a very long time. So, at number 11 now, who is it? The Cardinals left, or the Cardinals just traded up?
Yep. It's a dream scenario for the Atlanta Falcons. If they stuck at 8, they were going to take Dallas Turner.
Yep.
Now they get 2 third-round picks, and they get to take Dallas Turner at 11. Turn the picks already in. Dallas Turner.
Yep.
Alabama.
I'm in agreement with that one. Now it's me, the Chargers, with the 12th pick. I think it gets a little tough here. They could go a number of ways, but I think they're leaning the trenches, and it makes a lot of sense. They unfortunately don't walk out with one of the elite receivers, and we currently have, what's his name, Quentin Johnston as the number one receiver
Don't
on the depth chart.
disrespect Josh Palmer.
Oh, Josh Palmer. Yeah, sorry. That's the best receiver on their team. That's a little bit of a problem. I'm not going to lie. But regardless, it's pretty clear that Jim Harbaugh, apologies, has his vision of this team, and it's building in the trenches. They obviously have their left tackle in Rashawn Slater, but they don't have a set right tackle just yet. We're going to do just that with them in a freak athlete at the offensive tackle position, and that is J.C. Latham. Just stick him right in.
I like it.
Just stick him right in.
Stick them right in there. And then I have the 13th pick as well because I'm the Oakland Raiders.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Las
right.
Vegas Raiders.
Come on.
Apologies. And I'm going to make a surprising pick here. They stick at 13. They didn't get the chance to trade up for a quarterback, but they stay at 13, and they're going to get a guy that I think fits their profile perfectly. He's got that Las Vegas mindset. Don't ask me what that means, but he does. And it's Michael Penix. They take him at 13.
Whoa.
Yeet.
Las Vegas
That's
mindset. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I've never heard that used in that context.
Yeah, I love Penix. There's obviously a lot of red flags. He's older. He's going to be 24 come his first snap in the NFL. He's had multiple season-ending injuries. He was just a 6th-year senior. But given all of that, he just had one of the best seasons in all of college football. And he led a team to a national championship. Did they win? No, but they went up against an absolute unit in the Michigan Wolverines. So it was tough for anyone to win that game, but Michael Penix is the real deal. And he gets to walk into a team with a good offensive line and a bunch of weapons. So it doesn't really get much better than that.
Alrighty. You talked a lot. So now
Sorry, I had back-to-back
No, I'm
picks.
kidding. So I am on the clock with the New Orleans Saints at 14. And I'm going to select a man whose name I may not pronounce correctly, but Troy Fatanu, the offensive lineman. I did a good job, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's that education coming. That's private school education.
It's a
baby.
very good pick, Tom.
Yeah, I'm going to select him. He's super agile for an offensive lineman. I think he can honestly play all 5 positions on the line. And that Saints offensive line is nothing to write home about, and that's for sure. And even though Derek Carr can only throw the ball about 30 yards down the field, you still got to protect the guy. So, great place to start here.
Just a quick note. Apparently, Ryan Ramczyk's career might be in jeopardy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So that makes the tackle need even
Ooh, yeah.
more.
Well, Trevor Penning hasn't shown that
He is bad.
horrible for a
anything.
first-round
Very
pick.
bad.
Horrible for a first-round
left
pick.
tackle to not pick a tackle here.
That line is in shambles. Absolute shambles right now. So, but moving on from the Saints, with the 15th overall pick, we currently have the Indianapolis Colts.
So the Colts at this point in the draft are licking their chops because they have one huge need, and there's yet to be a player at that position who's gone yet in the draft. So, me as the Indianapolis Colts, I'm gonna turn to you, Laverty, because you still have 2 picks in this first round with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm wondering if you and the Arizona, you traded down to trade back up before. I want to know if you guys have any interest in trading back up here with the Indianapolis Colts.
Who do I?
What do you want? So I would have pick 23 and 27.
Indeed.
Let me see. Let me look at this Jimmy
This is
Johnson
interesting.
trade chart real quick. See what we could do.
I like how you have an iPad and still wrote your notes on paper,
Absolutely.
paper and pen. I really respect
He
that.
came prepped, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely came prepped. You know what? I'm just for shits and gigs. I'm the Detroit Lions,
Okay.
Roar.
and I want to move up in the draft. This is a little crazy. It's probably not gonna happen, but you know what? Just for the content,
This is our mock draft.
I'm gonna trade you the 29th overall pick, the 73rd overall pick,
Yep.
and a 2025 fourth round pick
Ooh.
to move up to 15.
You wonder who I also think should come up here? I think the Buffalo Bills should come up here.
I also think that's a possibility as well. But-
Yo, let me just make a trade with
There
myself.
You have
go.
the Buffalo Bills?
Fuck you guys. Yeah.
I think they're very likely to move up very soon. And if you're the Colts and you want to move down,
Yeah, we're going to go just like that. The Indianapolis Colts are trading with the Buffalo Bills. The Colts are trading pick 15. The Bills are trading pick 28, pick 60, and a 2025 fourth round pick.
Perfect.
there it is.
So now the Bills are on the clock.
Very realistic too. I think.
Very,
Yeah,
very,
super realistic.
very obvious pick. I actually, in my mock, I had the Seattle trading back the next pick to the Bills, but I like this one too. I
think it
the
makes a
Bills,
lot of sense.
Bills are gonna,
Now I need a minute to prepare. I wasn't expecting to trade up here with
there's
the Bills.
one obvious
We can
answer for
entertain.
you. One obvious answer.
There's a position that's obvious, but I don't think the player
I think
is
the
as
player's
obvious as
pretty
you think it
obvious.
is, Lev.
Oh, whoa.
The player's pretty obvious.
You're higher on a guy than I am.
Yes.
You're so much higher on a guy than I am.
Really?
Chris might end up taking him.
This is
So
I don't know.
I think I know who
scrolled
my pick
past
would
him a
be,
few
but-
times.
this is fun.
I'm not a fan of the guy that Lav is loving right now. I'm just not a fan.
Sounds great out of
I
context.
don't know who you're looking for. I'm
So Lav's likely thinking Brian Thomas. You
Yeah.
can't steal the
That's
pick
who
or
I
anything like that.
Yeah.
Lav's likely thinking Brian Thomas. I'm not a big Brian Thomas guy. That's just me personally from the tape that I've watched, from how I felt. I don't know. He's a one-trick pony is how I'll put him, with inconsistent hands. So, freak athlete for sure, but I personally just think there's better receivers.
A lot of receivers in this draft class.
A loaded
lot.
receiver class.
Yep.
Loaded receiver class. But it all just goes off preference at this point. So
Yup.
sorry, man. I
no,
was
you're good. You're good.
Listen,
It's
you got
That's all
got
good.
thrown in here. You didn't.
you're in the
know?
NFL draft right
Yeah,
now, buddy.
exactly.
You can't
This
fuck this up
happens.
for the Buffalo
You got
Bills.
Kevin Costner right now.
Best player on the board. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, if you went BPA, then it
Yeah.
probably isn't receiver, but
Probably.
With my next pick, I'm selecting Bo Callahan.
it's not receiver if you go
I
BPA.
don't know.
It's not. Lav,
close,
why
dude.
are you so high on Brian Thomas, bro? What do you see that I don't?
Freak athlete. He's like, I think one of the good comps I saw on him was like, if Christian Watson could stay healthy consistently. And Christian Watson, when he's healthy, is actually
The
like, a
idea of
really
Christian
good-
Watson
The
is a
idea
really
of
The idea of
Christian
Chris Watson is
Yeah.
great.
Exactly. But he's like, if Christian Watson could stay healthy, he didn't miss a game at LSU. So he has proven that he can stay healthy. How often could you find a guy that's 6'4", runs a 4.34,
Yeah.
scored 17 touchdowns? How often does that come around?
Yeah. No, that's entirely
Something about
fair.
those LSU boys. too, man.
1,200 yards?
Yeah, he's really good. I don't know. I just don't know.
And he's like a pure X receiver. That's what the Buffalo
He
Bills
is.
need right now.
He lines up
they need an
outside.
X.
So here's my thing. I think
10% go.
he's super landing spot dependent. I
Yeah.
think he's a guy that's super, and I think this is the perfect. Like if
Correct.
this was the case, I think this is the perfect landing spot for him. But I just think with Brian Thomas, he's so landing spot dependent, as opposed to like some of these other guys where I think
But you're landing him with the Buffalo Bills. You're landing him with Josh Allen, who has proven to elevate talent. So I
True.
think that this pick would be a home run, absolutely, for
Juicy.
the Buffalo Bills.
all right, Chris. So
You know,
we're gonna
Chris,
actually
I was
put
gonna
you
say,
on
in the
clock
NFL,
now.
you only
We
get
are
10
gonna
minutes.
put you on the clock.
So the Buffalo Bills at pick 15 are going to be selecting Nate Wiggins out of Clemson.
Wow.
My
Whoa.
number one corner on the board. You lost Trey White this offseason. You lost the safeties. You need help in that secondary. Granted, you definitely need help in the receiver room, but Brian Thomas at 15 just wasn't the pick for me. Nate Wiggins has been my CB1 the whole cycle. Blazing fast, 4.28 at the combine. Super long arms. So one concern is obviously the frame and the the stockiness, he might get bitched around a little bit. But I think with that range and that recovery speed, he's going to be awesome in this Bills defensive scheme. So.
One thing I've come to realize over doing these mock drafts over the last couple of years, you love skinny corners.
I
Skinny,
do
fast
love
corners.
skinny, fast
You're in a
corners.
4.29.
Skinny, fast corners.
Going skinny fast. It's the
4.29
skinniest
is
and
crazy.
fastest of
Yeah,
them all.
4.29 is wild, bro.
Trevor said Buddy in the Knicks jersey looks ready to sub in for Randall. Hey, man. They called, but I told him I had this. So I said I'll get him tomorrow.
Yeah,
If
we're
the
in
Pats
bro.
trade
Yeah,
back, I'm gonna get
functioning shoulder, you're
CT ESPN. He says. Trev, we took Marvin Harrison Jr. for the
Pats.
Pats.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Definitely did.
All right. So who's on the clock now? Pick 16.
it's
Seattle
me.
Seahawks. It is you, Lev.
16. So I wasn't expecting this guy to be there right here. But I am going to take the guard from Washington, Fuaga. I think
Okay.
he would be a great pick here. I'm trying to load up the Seattle Seahawks depth chart.
You know,
here.
I
Not
have
loading.
the 18th pick, and I wanted to take him, but I'm so glad you did because I had no idea how to say his name. So I'm so glad I don't have to draft him.
Yeah, they have a huge hole on the interior offensive line. They just lost one of their best guards, Damian Lewis, to the Panthers, I believe. He signed a very big contract there. They have a glaring need on the interior line. They got to protect Geno. I think that would be a really strong pick here.
Okay. So now I'm on the clock at 17 with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and there's still some really, really good pass rushers available in this draft. But I think they're loaded there, and they have a glaring need at corner, and my top two corners are still on the board. I'm going to end up taking Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, corner, and I think he's an absolute baller. He's one of those guys that you could stick in man coverage. He's phenomenal in zone as well. He's my number one corner on the board personally, and I think he's going to help make the Jacksonville Jaguars all-around strong defense, which is what they need. So,
All right.
at number 18,
At number
Cincinnati Bengals.
18, the Cincinnati Bengals. Now they have a few needs here. I had two guys ahead. I was gonna I had Latham here if he fell, and then I was gonna take that guy. Still can't say his name, but I'm gonna address the other side of the ball, and I'm gonna go with Byron Murphy II out of
Very good pick.
Texas
Whoa.
to
Very good
replace DJ Reader.
Very good pick.
There it is.
Yeah, there he is.
Full circle here.
Yeah, man. Listen, you need a
Freak athlete.
you need a big guy in the trenches that can handle business down there. You know, stop the run for you a little bit. DJ Reader was really good at that. They need someone to replace that role. And Byron Murphy, listen, yeah, they need an offensive line for sure, but he's super talented. I think that's a great pick here.
So, who has the Rams? It's you, Chris, right?
It is me.
Was Byron Murphy going to be your pick?
Yes.
I figured.
The Rams have to replace Donald,
Exactly.
but there's another defensive tackle on the board that would be really good fit for the Rams
Indeed.
here.
So with the 19th pick in the NFL draft, the Los Angeles Rams will be taking Jerzon Newton
go.
out of Illinois.
Monster.
Yeah,
Right.
guy who could, you know me, man. I'm a big fan of interior defensive linemen who aren't just run stuffers, who could put pressure on the passer and actually move a little and are athletic in there. And that's exactly what Newton brings to the table. I don't know who I'd have higher on a board, Newton or Murphy. I think that's literally like picking hairs between the both of them. So,
It's a beefy boy.
yes.
He played half the season with a broken foot,
Which
and he
is
still put up like insane tape. He was
insanity.
dominating.
How do you
people.
play defensive tackle
He
with a
played
broken
defensive
foot?
tackle with a broken foot, and he dominated people. He was
Like,
dominating guards.
other
He was dominating
massive human
centers.
beings.
Yes.
by
Yeah,
the
he's
way.
going up against
Yes.
the beef of the beef. Like,
Other
those are
large
big
humans
sides of beef he's going up against. in there.
fully planting on that foot.
Nuts.
So
Bruce Magoo said
And he
Kincaid's
should be good for
dropping
the
20
season.
pounds
That's
and
gonna be
moving to
strong.
X.
Yeah, and he's really good hands too, which is obviously one of the more underrated parts of being a defensive lineman in the NFL. But he's really quick hands.
He's
So,
gigantic hands. Once he puts his hands on you,
oh,
it's
those
tough.
big meaty hands! I wish
Like,
I had them
yeah.
on me.
Wow.
all right.
Makes you think.
Next up, we got the Steelers, and I think this board fell kind of exactly how you'd want it to if you're the Steelers.
Yeah.
To be honest. So
Well, the guy I'd have to take here, glaring need, I believe, I'm trying to remember the center's name that they have. Herbig?
Nate Herbig.
Nate Herbig is their starting center. He
Don't matter now.
don't
Not
matter now.
anymore.
Don't matter now. When we take center from Oregon, Jackson Powers Johnson.
I'm happy that you gave him the respect he deserves in this draft cycle, because he's
He's a monster.
Who,
Animal.
bro? All right.
Jackson Powers Johnson.
Yes, he is a monster, but he's gotten the respect he deserves, man.
He got selected 20th overall.
He's gotten so much respect,
Yeah,
bro. He
but-
doesn't need more. I promise. He's gotten enough
I think
respect.
this guy. He's a blue chip player in this draft. He's gonna be a 10-year starter.
He jumped up from
I
a
just
third.
get worried that like they don't value the center position and the interior offensive line position as they honestly.
I don't know.
like,
I've
kinda
seen
should be.
I've seen mock drafts where he's gone as high as 15,
Well,
and
I think-
before the Senior Bowl, he was a fringe like fucking second round
I
guy.
mean,
So
now
he's definitely gotten his respect.
they're definitely respecting interior O-line a lot more. When was they were giving out $20 million contracts
Yeah,
left and
that's-
right to interior
Robert
O-line.
Hunt.
Robert Hunt got
Onwenu
$100 million.
got 19 a
Yeah,
season,
Onwenu got
even though he's
19.
tackle guard.
They can. What's the guy? The Eagles guard.
Landon Dickerson.
He got 22 a year.
Bought himself a tractor,
Bought himself a tractor.
a lawnmower.
Lawnmower.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're starting to get a lot more respect, as they should.
How much do you
but
think that lawnmower costs?
10K.
20 grand.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 15 grand.
Probably. All right. So now I'm at 21 with the Miami Dolphins. And what?
Jokic is just like, what do you do?
Oh, I didn't even see what he did.
What do you do? It's just so simple, but yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
27-13 already.
Anyways, so I have the Miami Dolphins at 21, and again, board kind of fell in a decently favorable way for the Miami Dolphins. I will say there is one guy that's pointed out to me a little bit. They have two edges that are going to be going into the season injured. They lost Andrew Van Ginkel, so part of me's thinking they got to shore up that edge position. I know they signed Shaq Barrett. It's between a tackle and an edge. I'm between Amarius Mims to play right tackle for them or Jared Verse to play as the other edge rusher for this team.
I forgot Jared Verse was still on the
And I'm
board.
simply going to take Jared Verse based on the fact that he doesn't have to go very far. He's going from Florida State to Miami. It's just that simple. Jared Verse goes to the Miami Dolphins.
Beast. Shout out you Albany. That's where Jared Verse he transferred
Transferred
from.
from, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a Great Dane for first couple seasons.
He was a great Dane. That's awesome.
And now 22, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes, sir. That is
Man, you
me.
fumbled, man.
What? Who would you
It was
take
supposed to be Amarius Mims,
It was
bro.
between the two.
I have dreams about him coming to the Dolphins, bro.
He probably, I think he will fall there. I do. I really do.
That's who I want. That's who I want real bad.
It's tough. It was between the two. There's depth at tackle, though. That's the only difference here.
All right.
I
So
like Jared Verse, just a little bit concerning.
Why is he
What's
concerning?
concerned about him?
Just everything.
Okay. Got it. We not a Jared Verse. fan
subscribe
here.
for more analytical.
Yeah.
Yeah, no analytics there. Just
Just a bad feeling about him as a prospect.
bad feeling,
Yeah.
man.
Okay, fair.
Fair.
That's how I feel about Brian Thomas. So
Can't hate. All right. So I'm up here
this
at
fell
pick
perfectly.
number 22
Holy shit.
with the Philadelphia Eagles. I will be selecting Mr. Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Over the teammate.
Yeah, over the teammate.
He shouldn't have fell this far.
Both of them shouldn't have fell this far.
I kind of find it crazy that he did. But has the physical makings of a lockdown corner. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, he can tackle. His football IQ is really good. He understands route concepts really well. And next to big play Slay and, pushing washed up Bradbury to the side, I think Kool-Aid's perfect for the Philadelphia, almost said 76ers, the Philadelphia Eagles needs. They clearly want to address their secondary, and I definitely think they do so here.
He could probably hoop too.
Sure.
He probably can.
Probably 6'8" with 6'8", I wish.
6'8".
6'8's crazy. I got basketball on my mind. 6'1" with, I think, almost a
Like close to a 40-inch vertical?
Yeah, or not close. Not close. to it.
34 and a half.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right. He's dunking.
Not bad.
He's
Yeah.
dunking. All right, next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings.
The Cardinals.
Wait, oh yes, the Cardinals are on the clock
I'm
now.
stunned that this guy's still on the board. I ran to the podium, made the pick already. Terrion Arnold, cornerback, Alabama.
There it is.
That's one of the biggest steals, I think. He's a top 12 player on every board, including mine.
For sure.
So to get him, the Cardinals just got Roma Duntz and the cornerback one and the wide
Arnold.
yeah, and a top 3 receiver in the class. Cardinals are really, really in strong position. And they still got pick 27.
Yeah, but my guy's name is Kool-Aid. There's no way he's not. elite. I forgot to mention that. Like, that's.
Kool-Aid McKinstry. There's another
Wow.
corner on the board that shouldn't be here.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Leon Mitchell is still on the board. I'm not
No, he's
sure how.
not.
No, he's not.
No,
I
he
took
took-
I
you
took
took-
Kool-Aid.
you took-
Yay.
He's in
He's
Jacksonville.
in Jacksonville? Okay,
Yep.
good pick.
Yep. Thank you. The live stamp of approval.
Yeah, there's no way Kool-Aid isn't a great player.
Now we have the most hated, the least fun, Dallas Cowboys.
I hate the Dallas
Who has the
Cowboys.
Cowboys?
I guess I would have the Cowboys, right?
I mean, it ain't me.
Well, I don't have the
Yeah,
Cowboys.
you have the Cowboys.
There you
Sorry.
go.
I'll make the pick. I mean, they lost a lot of O-linemen.
Yep.
So I'm going to take Graham Barton,
Ooh,
interior O-lineman, out of Duke.
not a Marius Mims.
No, because they don't need a tackle. They have Steele and they have...
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
So their biggest needs, they lost Tyler Biadasz. They
Yeah,
have
Biadasz.
they have Zach Martin going up in age, and let me see who their starting left guard is. It's not anyone good
No, it's not. But
because their starting left guard was Smith, and they're moving Smith over to left tackle
yes,
because they lost Tyron.
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
Wow.
So they have no center, they have no left guard, so they're gonna have to draft Barton to be their starting left guard, and potentially move him to center if he doesn't pan out there.
So for me now, with the Green Bay Packers, this is tough because there's a number of different directions they could go. But I kind of feel like I have to just follow what every other mock draft is doing. And it's sending Cooper DeJean straight to the
Oh, yeah.
Packers every single
Oh,
time.
yeah.
So you know what? I ain't going to switch it up. I'm going to keep it simple.
He's
Cooper
making
DeJean.
history.
It's meant to be a Green Bay Packer.
You're making history with that pick, brother.
Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's me.
This actually falls well for them.
I don't know if I'm going to take the guy you want me to take.
I
But
don't think you know.
Yo,
bro.
Tom, I'll trade up. I'll give you pick 28 and pick 46 for pick 26 and pick 57.
yeah, it sounds good.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. So the Indianapolis Colts are trading up. They're trading pick 28 and pick 46 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for pick 26 and pick 57. So now I'm on the clock with the Indianapolis Colts, and we traded up because our guy is there and is on the board. We are going to be drafting Brian Thomas Jr. here.
Yep.
Listen, man, the Colts need a receiver. Alec Pierce, he ain't that guy.
He ain't.
You have A. Richardson. You have Jonathan Taylor. You have a decent enough O-line. The defense played better than expected last year. Second year with Shane Steichen. Let's get another receiver. Let's get a healthy Anthony Richardson. And let's turn this thing up and compete in the AFC South. Love this pick for the Colts here.
Yeah. I once you traded up, I thought immediately Brian Thomas. Like I was like, it's either Brian Thomas or maybe Latu, but that was about it. Because I mean, it's a beautiful move for the Colts. I think it makes
Colts
a lot
would be
of sense,
considering
so.
taking Brian Thomas Jr. at 15.
Yeah, exactly.
that trade.
So for him to fall,
Yeah.
Exactly. So, all right, we'll have the third of the Arizona Cardinals first round picks in this mock.
Cards already in. Lietu Latu.
Yep.
Edge rusher out of UCLA. He's put up some really good tape. Now, it all comes down to the medicals with him. I don't know what they look like. Because he medically retired when he was, what college did
A
he?
sophomore, I think, at
Washington, I believe. Yeah, he was a sophomore at Washington. They forced him to medically retire. He had a very similar career to, remember Jalen Phillips when he was coming
Yes.
coming out of Miami.
Yep.
So I have no idea what the medicals look like with him. But if they're comfortable with it at 27, he's definitely a player who's a top 15 player in the draft when healthy. So he would be a major boost to their pass rush, and that would be can't miss pick for the
so
Cardinals.
The Cards walk out with
They walk out with a Dunt, Arnold, and Latu.
Yeah, that's pretty
it's a
insane.
hell of a draft for the Cardinals if that were to happen. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge dub for the Cards, who are just in dire need of talent all over the place right now. So
And if he didn't pass, for whatever reason the Cardinals medical staff didn't green light Latu, I would have taken Chop Robinson
Yep.
here.
yeah, exactly. I thought the same thing. So, all right, who you got, Tom? You're on the clock now.
Oh, I'm at 27?
Yes.
Okay.
28.
28, yeah, 28. So with the
You trade
28th
down.
pick, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the guy I wanted at 26 is still here. And anytime you can get a little bit of extra value and move down in the draft and still get the guy you want, that's A-okay. I'm going to select Chop Robinson, the super raw talent, but I
Yep.
feel like he has super tremendous upside. He's super explosive off the edge. I was considering Latu, but obviously he's gone. So made the pick easy for me. Bucks are going to replace Shaq Barrett with Mr. Chop Robinson. Another guy, his name's Chop Robinson.
He's also
How bad could he be?
one of those Penn State freak athletes.
Yeah.
4'8" at 254 pounds.
insanity.
That's what I mean, bro.
Like, how do they keep on producing these athletes?
Why
Who
are
was it?
humans able
I was
to do
watching McAfee today. Had Dwight Freeney on. Dwight
that?
Freeney said
Watch that, yeah.
out of college he ran like a 4.6 or something like that. Like, and he's like 260.
Yeah,
So,
which is
it's
still insane.
unreal.
And it's crazy because we're starting to become like, that's the
Numbified?
norm now. That's the norm now. Like, you're
Yeah.
gonna see these dudes running 4.6,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay, he ran a 4.64. That's not crazy, because we're seeing guys at 260 pounds now run 4.5s. So it's just a little stupid, is all it is. All right. So now I'm on the clock with the Detroit Lions. Does anyone have teams on their board that they would like to trade up? Because I think if I'm the Lions right now, I'm open to a trade down if anyone would want to trade up for a prospect here.
Nah, you ain't taking my guy.
I'm looking. This would be a spot for like a team in the second round to come up for like Bo Nix or
Yeah.
a player like that.
Yeah,
but
that's a good point.
I'm not sure if I see a team that would be willing to do that.
Yeah, I don't have any teams that I think would be willing to move up right
The
now.
team
nor
I
have
thought
the
would be a
assets.
fit for Bo Nix would be Denver. I don't think they already took J.J. McCarthy in this mock, so they wouldn't do that. It wouldn't make sense there.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I mean, actually, it would make sense. The New England Patriots passed on a quarterback at 3.
They did.
I don't know if they would consider trading up for Bo Nix here. They had extensive interviews with him. I believe they had a private workout with Bo Nix.
Let's trade up for Bo Nix.
Let's trade up for Bo Nix.
What do you
Talk
want?
them into it.
Yeah.
Let's see. What
I'll
do
give
the
you
Patriots
pick 34.
have? Okay.
And it's going to be next one. It's going to be pretty cheap to make this.
Yeah, it's not going to be crazy expensive.
So the Jimmy Johnson trade chart has
The Jimmy
five-
Johnson.
34.
trade, baby.
I'll give you 34, 137, and 180.
Make it 34 and 103, and I'll do it.
34 and 103, and you give me a 5th round pick next year.
Yep, deal.
All right. Shake
Shake
hands.
hands. You got to shake them.
Yeah, this is far as fuck.
Reach.
So
there we
New
go.
England's going up and taking Bo Nix. I
There it
like
is.
Are we, though?
Oh,
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
whoa,
Or is it Jordan Travis?
Bo
whoa,
Nix.
whoa.
Or is it Tualia Tagovailoa?
I think it's Bo.
Or is it not even a quarterback?
Or
Do
is
we,
it Spencer Rattler?
It's Bo Callahan.
or do we trade up for Amarius Mims? We could use a tackle.
Could be in the market.
The concern with Amarius Mims is I think he's only played like
He's played
10
8 games.
He's played
eight games in college.
He's a
Oh, that's
freak
not a lot.
athlete.
Bo Nix multiplied that by 1,000.
Yeah, Bo Nix played 5 seasons. I think he's one of the only players that played one of the only quarterbacks in college history that played 5 full seasons and
Yeah.
was a starter
Seasoned
each
vet.
and every year.
Yeah.
You know what? It's the NFL draft. Quarterbacks always go higher than expected. I don't think Bo Nix is anywhere near a first-round quarterback,
I
by
agree
the
with
way. Throw that out there. But we did draft BPA at pick 3. We drafted Marvin Harrison. Let's get him a little quarterback action. Bo Nix.
A little
There it is.
quarterback action. Bo Nix.
Oh, sleazy, 2-pointers. We got a quarterback, gang.
Definitely belongs in this range.
All right, and then the 30th
Who?
pick.
Bo Nix.
I'm not high on Bo as a prospect. I think in certain offenses he can work, but I
He-
think he's
he
like
needs-
my clear-cut
He
QB5.
needs that West Coast like Sean Payton.
Sean Payton type of offense.
He
Yes.
needs that. But if you take him and you put him in that offense, I think he's going to excel. And you would regret if they got that in the second round. I think that would be a really good value.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. 30th overall pick, Baltimore Ravens.
That's me. And
I think this actually worked out really well for you.
it's a lot of
Ravens
pressure.
have a really good track record of these massive tackles turning
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's who I'm looking at.
Especially they just lost Morgan Moses.
Yep, exactly my point.
They,
Remember
they-
Orlando Brown?
Yeah, they have a really aging offensive line. They lost Kevin Zeitler too.
Let me look him up real quick. Bear with me, chat. Never mind. I'm gonna take the gamble and I'm gonna select Amarius Mims
There
here.
you go.
Yep.
That's such a Ravens pick.
And
too.
they love freak athletes.
Yep.
They draft freak athletes in every single draft. I feel like
Okay, 31. San Francisco 49ers. Who we got?
Man, I don't know if this is realistic, but again, this is our draft. 49ers, I'm sure they could use some depth on the defense or on the O-line, but fuck all that. We're going to draft Adonai Mitchell here, bro. Maybe we might have to trade Brandon Ayuk in the future. Adonai Mitchell is an athletic fucking specimen, dude. Let me tell you, could jump out of the gym, can run very fast. Everything you want in a receiver, running and jumping. So we're going to take Adonai Mitchell here to San Francisco.
Everything you want in a receiver, running and jumping. Facts.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of the job.
Fuck the route running.
Run and jump.
Oh, man.
I know. I mean, that's really what it is, though. He's not really the route runner
not.
type of guy, but he could win with just his pure athleticism. He is NFL athleticism. He wasn't just winning because of college athleticism. You know what I mean? That's
That's
NFL
one of those
athleticism.
teams that also, like, you can take the gamble on a guy like that because you have Debo. If Ayuk
Sure.
gets traded, you have Debo, you have Kittle, you have weapons already. Like, you could take the
Right. If he doesn't pan out, it's not the end of the fucking world. But if he does pan out, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Final
Actually,
pick.
good luck with that, though. If Adonai Mitchell becomes good, the Niners are the best.
good luck with
I
this
mean,
pick
yeah, but
too.
they already have Ayuk, you know? Like,
Yeah, but Ayuk's out of here. We don't want him no more. All he does is bitch and complain, bro. Get him the fuck out.
where does he get traded if he gets traded?
Don't care. I
Where
don't
does
know.
he get traded?
Carolina. The Chiefs. Trade pick 32.
It'd have to be more than that, I think.
I don't think the 49ers would trade Brandon Ayuk to the Chiefs.
No,
They'd
I'm
have to just
kidding.
get smacked by
They've
them
never,
twice.
I
ever
would have
do.
said Houston before they traded for Diggs.
Yo.
I would think that the prime candidates would be the Steelers and the Jaguars if Ayuk were to be traded anywhere.
Let me look at this real quick. Who else? Who else
Washington would be
potentially do it?
sneaky.
Yeah. Buffalo? Who knows?
I think Buffalo's trying to stay cheap. I don't think they would do it.
Potentially. I also think
What
it was-
about the Jets?
Jets make a little bit of sense, yeah. I could see that. I could also
Jets
see
gotta stay
Carolina
cheap.
saying fuck it and just going for it.
The Carolina, I could see them trading pick 33 and or 39 for Higgins.
Say the
or Ayuk.
Cardinals trade down. We ruling out the Cardinals? Cardinals trade down from 4, get 2 first-round picks, flip one of them for Brandon Ayuk.
Wouldn't hate it. Oh, so
They have the cap space.
now you got in this mock particularly you would have Brandon Ayuk and Roma Dunze and Trey McBride.
Yeah,
That would be pretty sick.
pretty much.
And Greg Dortch in the slot, who I think is underrated.
Exactly. So, there you go.
There's possibilities, but the problem with the Brandon Ayuk trade is that wouldn't be like a typical trade where you can extend him before you trade for him is the problem. Like when we're talking about like
They're so locked in over there.
so like most sign and trades happen when a player's on like a franchise tag and their agent can contact them and extend the player before they officially make a trade. But Brandon Ayuk isn't on a non-exclusive franchise tag. He's on a 5th-year option. So you would have to trade for Ayuk and then pray that you can extend him afterwards. You
After
wouldn't
the season.
you wouldn't be able to work out an extension with him before you traded.
You could tag and trade. So,
Yeah, but Brandon Ayuk isn't tagged right now.
no, I know. I'm saying he plays out the 5th
If he
year
plays
option.
out the 5th-year option, then they could take and trade him.
So-
But then they don't have any leverage in a trade.
Or tag and extend.
That's
that
possible
case.
too.
So, just be like, yo, I promise you we're going to re-sign you to a massive contract. You just got to ride this year out. So,
Well, their issue is going to be when they have to pay Purdy
yeah,
Mm.
which is coming soon.
Yep.
after
So-
next year.
But, anyways, you have the final pick of this draft?
Yeah,
the Kansas City
they
Chiefs?
somehow let the Kansas City Chiefs get Xavier Worthy.
Yep.
I don't know.
Chiefs gonna chief, man.
So you don't think them signing Hollywood changes that at all? Like the receiver that they would go for?
I was between that or I was between Adonai Mitchell.
Troy Franklin, Ladd
Adonai Mitchell
McConkey.
just went, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I couldn't take him. Ladd McConkey could have been the pick.
The Chiefs could draft my plumber, and he would help them win a
They
Super
could
Bowl.
take whoever, bro.
No, if
And I don't even really
If
have.
I
a
wasn't
plumber.
taking a wide receiver there, I would have taken Tyler Guyton or Jordan Morgan there.
Yeah.
Tackle. I think they could use that.
Or
line.
Rakestraw, the corner. because they always develop corners.
Well, if I was gonna take a corner, I would have taken Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, no, but Kool-Aid's off the board.
Kool-Aid's off the board.
Kool-Aid's off the board.
Oh, you took Kool-Aid. All right, then yeah, it would have been Rakeshaw. I think it would have been a little bit of a reach.
TJ
but
Tampa. It's a little bit of a reach too, but
It would have been Worthy or Guyton. Those would have been the picks.
and you're going with Worthy,
I'm going with
He
Worthy.
decided he was worthy.
There it is.
And there it is.
and there it is. And the best players remaining on the board, according to these rankings, would be Tyler Guyton, Troy Franklin, Lad McConkey, Ennis Rakestraw. You have Xavier Leggett still available. I don't think there's anyone. Darius Robinson's another one. Tavondre Sweat is a guy that's gotten a lot of mention.
I think Darius Robinson would be a very hot candidate to go to the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
The Detroit Lions traded out of the first
I
round?
traded out.
So I think that they would probably be. They would. Be
I'd
all
have
in on-
pick 34 right now.
Yeah, they would definitely pick Robinson there.
Yeah, and I think it end up being with these next few picks. I think the Panthers would go with a wide receiver,
I think.
whoever that is, likely Troy Franklin. I think in
Ooh.
this case,
I think they take
because
Glad.
Deontay they took. They traded for Deontay already, and we know Deontay's more of an underneath guy. We need that field stretcher, and I think that's what Troy Franklin provides.
They need people that can just get open.
Yeah.
They just need people that can get open. I don't
They do
think.
need
I don't
that.
think Glad is just a slot guy either. I think he has very similar measurables. I think I saw he has very similar measurables to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
So he could get open.
No, I love Lad. I'm super high on Lad McConkey, but yeah. And then after that, yeah, 34th pick would be the Lions, and they would end up taking Darius Robinson most likely. So that's that.
That's
What a time.
that.
trying to figure out what are teams that don't have first round picks that we would
Panthers,
Panthers, Browns,
Browns, Texans. Panthers, Browns, Texans.
What would the Texans draft? look
Jesus,
to
the
draft?
chair's fucking clinging to its life over there. Holy shit.
Think
I think that's it. Browns, Texans, and
what
the
would
Panthers.
What would the Browns need?
They just best player available, most likely, is what
Because
I'd assume.
they got
Or an edge rusher.
Judy. They have Cooper in the wide receiver core. They got
They'd probably take. I'd assume edge rusher.
Cooper.
That's what I would probably say. But yeah, that is
trying to figure out.
that is our first round mock draft.
That is our first round mock draft.
So
That was a ride.
That's our first round mock
That's
draft.
a lot of trades for a first round mock draft.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I could see that. I could see that happening.
I think there's going to be a lot of activity.
I think so too. I think there's like 2 or 3 teams that you could guarantee are most likely going to make a move come
I
draft
can't believe
night.
the Vikings got Jaden Daniels though. That's pretty impressive.
Thanks.
It's pretty. Yeah, we're gonna have to Bo Nix to Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's so funny, bro. That's actually hilarious. But we have anything else we want to talk about?
I got nothing.
All right. Well,
I had fun.
how was your first appearance on the
It was
BallGame Pod Love?
fantastic. It was
You seem nervous.
I was very nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I'm
man?
the cameras, the lights are
You
very-
got so nervous at the start of the pod.
yeah.
We need to
You were-
introduce himself.
Shake! Oh my God! You were
We
you were
didn't
shaking
go
in your
over that.
boots. You were shaking in your boots.
We
at
did
that.
not
was-
go over that in his defense. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
nervous my first
Yeah,
time
the
too, but they
lights
were
are-
very gentle
The
with
lights
me.
are very bright.
and ended up.
The lights are very
Ended up
bright. You gotta get used to
The
them.
lights are bright. We don't
Lights
even
are
have
very
our biggest light here.
We
Yeah, there's
don't.
an even bigger light.
There's a bigger light.
bigger
Yeah.
and 5
It's like
times,
boom. Yeah.
like 5 to 10 times brighter than these. Yeah, yeah.
It was like the Law and Order. sound
Wow.
effect.
You're gonna be that was yeah.
like, bum,
You're gonna be
bum.
fucking blind if you come back on this podcast live. It's gonna just it's over.
You gotta come back.
You thought the lights were bright now? Oof. They're about to get so much brighter. About to get so much brighter. So, but yeah, it was your first time in front of the camera with us. We were happy to have you.
Was
on.
it everything?
Thank you for
hoped it
coming
would
on.
be?
I'll come back for baseball pod. Can we
Yeah,
do a
it's
baseball
never
pod?
gonna happen.
No baseball pods.
It's
You
never
could
gonna
host
happen.
it.
I could host a
Yeah,
baseball
sure.
pod.
Lav, you literally
You
could host
it,
the
yeah.
whole baseball
I
pod.
could
if you
host
wanted.
You could
baseball pod.
fucking be in charge of the baseball division of ball game.
I can just bitch about the Yankees. It's about it. But I can't
mean,
really
I'd
bitch
be-
about anything about the Yankees right now. They're doing
Yeah, we're
good.
trying to expand ball game a little bit.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
We want to. Yeah.
We could bitch about the Mets.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be bitching. We can make fun of the Mets. Is what we're gonna do. Because I don't give a fuck about them. I couldn't care less. I ain't gonna bitch and complain about it. I'll make fun of the fans.
Why you hate you?
I don't hate the Mets. It's just funny. It's
Yeah, but
just
the Mets
funny.
fans hate the Yankees.
Mets fans hate the Yankees, so we don't
Yanks.
care about them. But now it's just hilarious because it's like y'all are falling directly on your face right now. Like everything that Steve Cohen has done that you guys were like, oh, Steve Cohen, like, oh, and then it's just like, yeah, it's crazy. But now it's like, well, fuck. We're in a bad position. So congrats to all the Mets fans.
Steve Cohen spent $4 billion on his payroll.
Yeah, and they can't hit at all.
No.
It's incredible.
They can't hit at all.
And recently he said, he was like, well, you just can't buy a good team.
Yeah, obviously.
You just can't
Learn
buy
that
a
the
good
hard
He's
way.
tried. Yeah, he's got the highest payroll in baseball, and
He was like, who knew?
they almost lost both games today. They got no hit for 13 innings.
Yeah, and they ended up winning the second one, right?
They ended up winning it. They were down 1-0 going into the 8th.
Yeah, it's just
That was
wild
incredible.
shit, bro.
Yikes.
And they don't have any pitching. It's just crazy.
Yikes.
Yeah, they're in a rough spot. But one day, Lev, we'll have a baseball podcast.
Don't even get me started on the Oakland A's.
Yeah, that's just the whole shit show. They're moving all over the country.
I don't think I can name all the teams in the MLB.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
No.
I'm not sure I can name one player on the Oakland Athletics right now.
No.
I'm so dead ass. I can't name one player on the Oakland Athletics.
I couldn't even. I don't.
Rooker,
No
I
idea.
don't know if I could even tell you like the top 5 players. in
Alex
baseball.
Wood.
I didn't know he was on. I swear to God, the last time I remember Alex Wood, he was on the Giants. But
I only know that Jason Jambi was on that team for
Jason
Moneyball.
Jerry. Yeah, is
Moneyball.
Johnny
Moneyball,
is Johnny
baby.
Damon still
20,
there?
yeah, 20 years. 20
they
years ago.
had a. I remember. Oh my God, that was such a good movie, bro.
That was a great movie.
Great movie.
Love Moneyball.
What's everyone's favorite sports movie here?
Ooh.
Just one. Since we got on that.
That's
topic.
a tough one, man.
Since we got on that topic,
Chris,
I might
remember
as
that
well ask.
summer? Well, you guys were there too when we watched Remember the Titans.
That's my
Every
favorite
day.
sports movie.
Oh,
Which one, Hustle or Uncut Gems?
Uncut. I guess Uncut Gems isn't really a sports movie.
It kind of is.
No. The main character is just like a shiesty salesman,
That's
and then
true.
Kevin
Yeah,
Garnett's
yeah.
in the movie.
Good point. Good point. That's true.
Favorite sports movie? I mean, I mentioned Rudy before. That's an all timer. Damn, I don't know, man. Moneyball's really good. Draft Day was another movie. I kept saying Bo Callahan. That was a good one.
Mine is
The
42.
Sandlot.
Oh, The Sandlot's great, bro. What'd you say it was?
The Sandlot. How does nobody take The Sandlot?
The Sandlot's good.
Mine is 42.
42. Jackie
42's
Robinson.
good.
You're a Jackie
42's
Robinson guy.
good.
Big Jackie guy. This is a great movie. Adam Sandler baseball movie.
Does Benchwarmers count? Because Benchwarmers might be up there. That movie's hilarious. I don't think
he's
Sandler's
in that.
No, Sandler's not in that. David
Sandler's
Spade is
not
in.
in that.
You're still out. You're still fat. He gives him grown
Field
ass.
of Dreams, also a good one.
Field of Dreams is a good one. He gives him the
Also a good
ID card. It just says "I am 12" written in crayon.
That
It's like a
was-
27-year-old man.
Phenomenal. That movie is so
movie's great.
good. So good.
Oh man.
Let's see what other.
I'll shout out League of Their Own.
movies.
Yo, do you remember who you drafted at 9 to the Bears?
Olu.
Yeah, Fashanu. I took Fashanu at 9 to the Bears.
The Bears.
But what other sports?
Trouble with
movies?
the
I'm
Curve
looking
was a
it
good
up
one.
right
What's
now.
Time Out? Yeah, that was a good one too.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood was awesome in that. What's that movie? The Game Plan.
Oh, the game plan.
The Game Plan
Yeah.
with Dwayne
Oh my
and
god,
Madison
yeah,
Pettis.
bro. Wow.
Game Plan's a fire movie too.
Oh, do you like boxing movies?
Coach Carter.
Yeah, of course they do.
Oh, then
Coach
it's,
Carter's an awesome.
then it's
awesome
not even
movie.
close. It's Warrior with Tom Hardy. If
feel
you've
like
Has
we're
ever
anyone
definitely
seen
missing
that
It's the best
new
movie ever.
Connor the Connor movie and Jake
Roadhouse?
Gyllenhaal, Roadhouse?
No. I heard it's
Nobody?
like it's not like great, but for what it's supposed to be. Like, how do I describe it? Like you'd say Fast and the Furious is like a good movie because of what you expect it to be. It's a cheesy action movie with
About
ridiculous
family.
stunts
About family.
and yeah. So like if you're expecting a I'm trying to talk here.
Am I-
If you're expecting a cheesy like action movie, then yeah,
Am I the only one that like hasn't watched a single one of the Fast and Furious movies?
I've watched every single. Fast
I
and
haven't
Furious
watched
I have not watched it.
one of the Fast
That's a
and the Furious
crime.
movies.
That's
Not
insane.
one singular one.
Fast 5. Oh man,
Yeah, nah.
the seventh one was where like
oh,
boys became men.
A great sports movie. Cars.
Yeah,
I guess it counts.
It definitely counts. It's racing.
Doc Hudson is one of the most underrated
iconic
legends.
characters of all
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
No, he's one of the most
Cars
underrated
is-
legends in sports.
Might be the greatest sports movie of all time.
Ka-chow.
That needs to be talked about more. Did you say Iron Man? I thought
Iron
you said
Man.
Iron Man. Airbud's a good one.
Have you guys seen the trend on TikTok where it's like
The
I sent
Whisper
it to you. No, we'll get to that. I sent it to you this morning. It's like kids are going up to their parents or whoever and being like, "Dad, did you go to school with a Mike Wazowski?" And it's like, like regular Guido guys, and they're like, "Who? Mike? Who? Oh, is that Mikey down on 8th Street? I think he was in my science class back in the day. Like Mike Wazowski, he sounds familiar." And they're like, "Oh."
Chargers, he took
They're like, he had a friend, Sully.
or-
Sully's. I know a bunch of Sullys. That's so funny.
Chargers, I took Latham.
Oh,
From Bama.
Yeah, nah. Why do you do
Raiders-
that impression so well?
traded.
You're so
right?
good at
Look
it.
where we are.
You're so good at
Me
it.
and Pete ripped that like crazy.
The Raiders trade.
Pete is phenomenal.
Bro,
at
we
that
were
shit,
at
dude.
when we were at Hobart for St. Patty's Day.
I don't think we spoke English the entire day.
No, me and Pete did not speak English that entire day. We literally, I don't even know what like the conversation was, but we were just saying like, "Oh, that guy over there, it's Union," and then the Scarlata kids one of them was in front of us. They're on TikTok. They do the same shit. So he turns around. He goes, "Yeah, it's Union." We lost our minds. It's so funny.
We're like a simulation.
Yeah. Now that baseball season's back, Jake Botch is back on TikTok. That guy's so funny.
Tom, do you remember who you took with the Saints? Pick 14.
Took a tackle. Which one?
Fuago or Furtado?
Fatanu.
Yeah, Fatanu.
Roman
I
Reigns.
think 14 and 16 would get switched in the real draft.
Trunks.
Batanu and the
Oh,
the
you don't have
other
the
guy with
producer
the F.
mic.
We-
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't
I
tell
was
you.
gonna ask you for your live WrestleMania picks,
Yo, that's this weekend, bro. That's
That
gonna
is
be,
this
that's gonna be electric.
bro.
Electric.
Electric isn't even the word, Tom.
It's gonna be the best WrestleMania.
I
of all
don't
time.
think. I don't know how to describe it.
I'm so
In
happy
words.
they're bringing on The Rock and Cody Rhodes on the first and second night.
Yeah.
I have to watch them twice.
The Rock has like revitalized WWE.
No, it was revitalized prior to, but
Nah, bro. No, it was. I shouldn't say that. He's repopularized it. Like
yeah,
so many people that.
the ratings were flying up already.
Right, yeah.
Like
Except people who were gonna stop watching in it.
First,
If that
people.
makes sense.
If I'm being honest with you,
Most
Pete,
people-
wrestling was completely up and to the right even before The
Yeah.
Rock came in. Like it was
Was
flying up because Triple H had pretty much like full
Kool-Aid up
control over
there.
creative and stuff.
Yeah.
But then The Rock came in, and instead of like it linearly progressing,
Yeah.
it went like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Russ.
Except for, like people like me and who like stopped watching for a while. I'm like, yo, The Rock is still
Arnold.
there, bro. Like, nah. Like, now I'm like,
yeah.
that gets me interested in it. I'm not.
Do you like know the storyline right now?
I only know the portion up to the.
Pete,
Royal
you
Rumble.
gotta catch up,
I
brother.
don't know what happened after that. I know The Rock would beat the shit out of
This is the greatest wrestling storyline I've ever seen in my
Oh, yeah.
entire life.
So since we're gonna have like people that don't know, I think I'll do it. I'll get Peacock Premium, so we get the video packages before the matches.
Wow. Wow. We'll split it
Peacock Premium.
since I'm hosting too.
That's money right there.
Wow.
For some reason, they don't have.
I fucking hate
video
that.
They used to. The video packages, like the backstory. And all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
before
yeah.
the matches.
I was gonna say. I that's what I was about to say. I was like, they usually do a backstory before.
You have to get the premium.
Oh, it's so.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb.
Capitalism sucks, man.
But we will make sure that y'all are educated on the matches that are about to happen. So,
Bro, on McAfee, yeah, what was it yesterday? They FaceTimed Michael Cole, and they were like,
they're having
Cole,
trips on tomorrow.
"Cole, why are you?" They're having what?
They're having
Was it
Triple H
Chuck?
They're
on.
live from the
Michael Cole is
Michael
going to be
Cole.
the
Take with the
guest
Ravens.
host.
Maybe the Miz is on. I think
Oh my
is coming
God, I
on.
gotta watch tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be so funny.
Mims
But they
with the
FaceTimed
Ravens.
and they were like, "Why are you such a crybaby? Why are you such a cry?" They kept calling him a crybaby and just yelling at him for
Oh,
not.
they make fun of him. So
yeah, they rip on him
because he's a
lot.
big Cody guy.
Yeah, he's a big Cody guy, and they're all Roman guys.
So yeah, nah,
Except
they
for-
always
yeah.
they always do the
Acknowledge
blood,
their chief,
acknowledge
yeah.
the tribal chief. Yeah, I mean, look, come Saturday and Sunday, we will no longer be acknowledging the tribal chief as the champion. It will be Cody. Finish the story, Rhodes.
I feel like they just put Roman Reigns and Madden, and they're just gonna take away his fucking belt. Bro, it's just a way on paper.
Logic's
We're
airtight.
using Madden as
The
a
logic
logic.
is airtight.
Like they just made
There
him
we
even
go.
more relevant, and then they're just gonna fucking deplete.
Now,
his entire-
no, now Cody's gonna get a Madden card.
No, because Cody's now going to become like the new superstar of the
I
WWE.
think they stretch it. I think
Face,
stretch
they
it.
shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
It's time.
It's time. It's so time. But
Unless John Cena cashes in the fake money in the bank.
oh my God.
They just revealed the set.
Oh, he thought he was going corner.
They
What
just
happened?
revealed what?
The WrestleMania set.
Ooh.
Yeah.
For what?
The WrestleMania.
Yo, we're
Oh.
still live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're still live.
The WrestleMania set? No way. I heard it didn't look good at first. Does it look good now?
People just saying because last year was.
Because last year was insane.
We might be able
Yo,
to
can we-
if the tickets are cheap enough.
Can we end the live?
Yeah, definitely. There's no one in. There's no one
Yo,
in chat.
thank you guys so much for watching. That was our first round mock draft. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10K because we hit 1K. What does 1K mean? We got merchandise. BallGame limited edition 1K hoodies. Link in the description. Go check them out. Shout out to our partners over at Underdog. Make sure you guys use that code BallGame. Check us out on all our socials. They will be linked in the description. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all that fun jubble. We will be back Tuesday with our Western Conference playoff teams tier list. And with that,
Ball
Ball
game.
game.
ball sacks.
Bitches.